Hi everyone, welcome to my Marvel Snap channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at my Living Tribunal deck, and we're going to play some games with it, and I'll teach you guys the strategy on how to climb with your Living Tribunal deck. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the deck. I'm going to go over the core combo pieces that you're looking for with your deck, and then I'm going to talk about the cards that are supporting the strategy. The whole idea of this deck is we want to drop Iron Man, then an Onslaught, and then a Living Tribunal. With just those three cards, we're going to be putting 21 power across all three lanes. Now, this is quite powerful by itself. With three cards getting 21 power across, not many decks can actually do that. Our strategy involves dropping 2 level 6s, so we're not going to be able to just drop 2 level 6s in a normal game, and this is where our ramp package actually comes into play. So for our ramp package, we have Electro, we have Magik, and Magik not only helps you ramp by giving you a 7th turn, it also lets you see an extra card in your deck, which is great because we're playing a combo deck. Wave is also a great ramp card, especially if you're hitting Wave on 3. The only thing I will say about Wave is if you're playing this deck, make sure to only play Wave on 3 if you have an Onslaught or a Living Tribunal in your hand, because that way you want to play your 6-drop on turn 4. If you only play an Iron Man on turn 4, you won't be able to play Onslaught and Living Tribunal on 5 and 6. You'll only be able to play one of them on 6. Now, with the ramp out of the way, we're going to go to the other supporting strategies within our deck. Now, obviously, because we're playing an ongoing deck, ongoing decks lose to Enchantress. There's just no way around it. Enchantress removes all ongoing effects within a certain lane, and because we're cramming all of our powerful ongoing effects into one lane, Enchantress is it's going to destroy us. Now, to combat that, hopefully, if we draw it, I did put an Invisible Woman in the deck. So if you're managed to draw your Invisible Woman on turn 2, you would like to play her down on one lane and then hide your other ongoing cards behind her. So that way, if they do Enchantress, Enchantress is going to hit the Invisible Woman, and then we'll be free to use our other ongoing effects. The other cards you're afraid of are obviously cards like Rogue and Echo. As far as I know, Echo already has to exist in a lane. So if you're dropping your ongoing effects into the Echo lane, why? So I'm not too worried about Echo. The main cards you're worried about are Rogue and Enchantress. Those are probably the core cards of the deck. So the other cards I'm going to talk about are kind of supplementary. So the most important of those cards I would probably say is Iron Lad. So Iron Lad is a great card because it lets us see the top card of the deck and get its effect on reveal. So in this case, I like to save Iron Lad towards the end in case I don't draw one of my combo pieces, maybe an Iron Man, an Onslaught, or a Living Tribunal. If you get to turn 7, that's about a 50% chance to hit one of the top 2 cards. If it's a missing combo piece, or sometimes, you know, if your game is not going too well, you could drop your Iron Lad on turn 4 and hopefully hit a combo piece that way. But regardless, Iron Lad just helps you see an extra card off the top of your deck, so that's great. The other 2 cards I want to talk about together, that's Yellowjacket and Adam Warlock. So Yellowjacket is for 0-2. On reveal, you afflict other cards at this location with -1 power. That's kind of irrelevant because we're going to be dropping it on an empty lane first. But when we do drop Yellowjacket, we also want to combine it with Adam Warlock. And what Adam Warlock does is at the end of each turn, if you're winning this location, you get to draw a card. So the great thing about this is it's basically a 2-card combo to let you draw a card on turn 2 or even turn 3 sometimes if your opponent does not contest that location. Even drawing just 1 card off of Adam Warlock is great because we are looking for these combo pieces early on, especially our ramp cards. And we're also looking to hit Iron Man, Onslaught, and Living Tribunal. The last 2 cards I'm going to talk about are alternate win conditions, I like to call them. So we have Omega Red. Again, in case I do not hit my combo pieces, for example, I will not hit a Living Tribunal. Sometimes it's all right to just drop an Omega Red with an Iron Man and an Onslaught. That way Omega Red will pump the other lanes by 8. Sometimes that is enough to win a lane, especially if I already have existing cards within those other lanes. And then the last alternate win condition we have is Orka. So let's say my game plan goes as, you know, Iron Man in one lane and then I hit either Onslaught or Living Tribunal, but unfortunately I can't find either an Onslaught or a Living Tribunal. That's fine. We could just drop Orka into a lane by itself. That'll be 16 power, and then the Iron Man lane will probably win with whatever other cards that we have there. So with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead now and play a couple of games. I'm going to show you guys how the deck works, and hopefully you'll get some insights on when to snap and when not to snap. Now, I will mention we're playing in Infinite already, so snapping almost doesn't really matter. It's probably not as effective as it is pre-Infinite. I myself like to just snap at Infinite. I don't really care if I lose cubes. You just go back to 100 and whatever. So our opener is Adam Warlock, Invisible Woman, Iron Man, and Electro. Again, this is actually a pretty solid opener. We're going to try to play Invisible Woman on turn 2, unless we draw a Yellowjacket, in which case I'm going to Adam Warlock to try and hit a combo piece. But I already have one of my combo pieces, so that's actually good. So we're going to not waste our opponent's time and hit pass turn. Our opponent plays Bast. They're most likely on bounce. At least usually when you see Bast on turn 1, you're thinking bounce. It could also be like a negative deck, but I'm going to guess it's probably bounce. We definitely don't want to play on this location. We want to minimize the amount of cards in our deck. So we draw our combo pieces, so we don't want any rocks being shuffled in there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just drop an Invisible Woman on the raft, and we're going to pass our turn. That way, if our opponent does play an Enchantress or a Rogue, we're not too afraid on dropping our combo pieces. Throne Room is also an interesting card, but in this case, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just play Magik here on the Throne Room. I don't really... I do have powerful cards in my deck. However, I'm not sure I'll be able to beat like a pumped Kitty Pryde or maybe like a Bishop. So I'm just going to take away the Throne Room for doubling the power. That way, not only do we see a 7th turn so that we can play our 2 6s, but we also take away some power on our opponent's end. And I'm not going to be playing my big guys there anyway because I've already committed with the Invisible Woman. I mean, I technically could play them there, but I'm going to play around the Enchantress now. So we see... Okay, so our opponent is playing Wolfsbane. I'm going to assume that this is a negative deck. That's typically... You see that more in negative decks than bounce decks, but I'm not sure with the new nerfs. Maybe they play Wolfsbane now, but I'm not too familiar with that. So we actually don't need to play Electro here because we are going to see a 7th turn, so we will be able to play out 5, 6, and 6. So actually here what I'm going to do is I am probably just going to drop an Omega Red on... do I want to... you know what? I could get a little greedy and play Adam Warlock here and maybe draw a card. That way pretty much guarantee combo. So yeah, actually I'm going to do that. Normally I probably should have played Omega Red, but it is a negative deck. Okay, we were correct, and Adam Warlock went through, so we're going to see an extra card. We're pretty much guaranteed to hit combo here. And the good thing about a negative deck is negative also plays Magik, so we're probably not going to see him playing like a Storm or a Rhino or something into a Limbo to cut us off early. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just play my Iron Man into the Raft, and then turn 6 I'm going to play Onslaught, then Living Tribunal, and that should probably be enough to win the game. But we'll see. Mr. Negative could be a tough matchup because they could hit the high roll. They played Iron Man into the Raft lane. That's not terrible for us because 16 power is not too much. Okay, so we're going to drop Onslaught here. But like I was saying, Mr. Negative high rolls are very hard to beat, especially if they're playing cards like Null, Zola. It could get a little spicy. They actually have the ability to put out a ton of power. So a negative deck could potentially beat a 25 or something across the board, but we'll see. Things are looking actually not too bad for us this game. And I'm also not going to snap just because I don't want my opponent to retreat. I want to show you guys the full combo. Yeah, they're going to Wong. So they're probably going to play something like Ironheart. But I'm going to drop Living Tribunal. I'm also going to drop Yellowjacket here because this is the final turn. This is also one of the reasons I didn't want to play Electro early because I didn't see my Yellowjacket yet, meaning I could play Yellowjacket towards the end of the game just to get a little bit more power on the board here. And also, if you're going into turn 7, sometimes there's the case where, you could go like Iron Lad and a 3-drop or like a 2-drop or something like that. But in this case, we did just manage to combo out. So let's go ahead and turn and see if we actually have enough power to win. They're going to play Magik, which is irrelevant now because we're already on turn 7. A Rogue, so it's a good thing I did play my Invisible Woman. So we played around the ability to steal one of our ongoing effects, so that's actually great. They're going to Surfer, they're going to Null, and that's definitely not enough to win. So they have a 24 and 12 power in one lane. They probably are thinking they're looking pretty good, but once they see the Onslaught and the Living Tribunal, they'll understand that they lost the game. And here we go, 27 across all 3 lanes. Again, a respectable number, even against some of the best decks in the game. So there we go, our 5th victory. All right, we're gonna hop into game number 2. So far, we drew 2 combo pieces, which is normally pretty good. However, I did not draw any ramp, so I am a little bit nervous. I do have a Yellowjacket, so I'm hoping that I could maybe draw into an Adam Warlock next turn. That'd be great. Our opponent played a Nova on the lane. I usually like to play my Adam Warlock, but that's fine. Okay, so we drew an Invisible Woman. Not a bad draw. I think what I'll do is I'm going to probably drop her on Sinister London. That way, we'll probably be able to double up here, and then the lane she doesn't fall in, I can always hit my ramp spell there, so I'm not too worried about my on-reveal effects going off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and end my turn. And they also played Invisible Woman with a Nova. That probably is like a Sarah Surfer, I'm thinking. I do see Sarah Surfers play Invisible Woman. Sometimes they hide like their Surfer underneath it, which is, not the worst. Okay, so we did hit a ramp spell, which is great. It's Electro, so we're only going to be able to play 1 card a turn, which is fine. I'm going to drop my Yellowjacket first here, actually, because otherwise we'll never be able to play it. All cards will have to be played here on turn 5. Again, I'm not worried about that. Actually, am I worried about that? I might actually have to draw my Iron Man here instead of on Sinister London, if that's the case, but we'll see when we get there. Okay, so let's go ahead and drop our Electro here. So Yellowjacket's going to give us 2 power because we played it first. That's great. Doesn't reduce Electro. Wow, that's actually very unlucky that they moved our Invisible Woman here. It's not the worst, I will say. It's really, I guess, not as bad as it seems. So I'm going to play Iron Man, and then I'm going to play Onslaught. That way, we do have quite a bit of power there anyway. Okay, our opponent Rhinoed. Again, not the end of the world. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and play Onslaught here. So I want to get as much power as I can. And I guess I could play a Tribunal if I draw it. I didn't draw it. That's unfortunate. However, I'll just play Iron Lad into this lane, and we'll see what happens. We could hit Tribunal, although it's not going to be too much across. But the good thing is Surfer also doesn't have super powerful lanes, so we hit Living Tribunal. That's great. We did have 3 cards left in the deck, so there's 33% chance to hit it. The thing is with Surfer decks, they don't really put too much across the lanes, so I'm not really worried. I think the most they get is like, they could have like a 20-something lane, but typically they stay in like low 20s. Yeah, so 21, 13, 12. This should be enough to win, I think. Let's see if the math works out. Yeah, 21 across. Okay, so good enough to win. Again, Surfer, I'm not too worried about the Surfer matchup unless they have a Rogue and we don't have an Invisible Woman. But overall, we could still win, even though this wasn't like our strongest play because they moved our Invisible Woman. But that's fine if you put Living Tribunal in another lane, as long as Iron Man and Onslaught in the same lane. That's mostly where a lot of your power is coming from. We drew 2 cards off Olympia. I love to see this card because that means most of the time we're going to hit our combo. We have Yellowjacket, we have Living Tribunal, and only 1 combo piece, and an Invisible Woman. So we do have a pretty solid turn 2 play, I think, here. If we draw out a Warlock, I'm going to... Okay, well, you know what? Sometimes we get hit with District X, and that's where things completely go off rails, but that's fine. That means our opponent also got hit with District X, so maybe their combo is not going to play out. In this case, I think I probably want to hit... I think I just go Invisible Woman. I don't need to play Yellowjacket yet. I'm just going to pass here. Psylocke could be nice maybe on a turn 4. No. Yeah, turn 4, so then I can get an Orka or a Living Tribunal out, so you can double 6. Cards here are hidden. Okay. You know what? In this case, I think I'm just going to wait. It is a... Oh, no, that's not a move deck because it's a gray card, so that's probably one of the random cards that they got. You know what? Sometimes it's okay to say wave for turn 5 in case they're going to drop many, and then we can drop like an Orka to win a lane. I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build up this lane. I'm not going to play Living Tribunal, and then I'm going to try and drop an Orka here in Dark Dimension. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to put some power in here. I mean, I can even do that on District X, but I don't need to yet. So let's go ahead and play Sabertooth. I'll play Iron Lad. It's not a ton of power. Okay, we're probably going to lose to that, whatever he's playing there, because it's a Shura. That's not looking too hot for us, actually. If he plays Shura... Okay, so Wave is probably not the best card to play against him, but you know what? It's fine. We'll just do this. I'll do this. Maybe it's not even a strong card. Okay, it's a Nimrod. That means winnable. So he's probably going to be destroying something. How much is that? 14? We have 7 plus 6, 13. Okay, so I might be winning this lane. I'm just going to drop Orka on the Dark Dimension, so it's a 16, and hope for the best. Again, our opponent also didn't get combos, so because of District X, so maybe they're missing some of their pieces. And yep. Oh, no, actually, that's not looking good. We're going to be losing. We're going to be losing on Dark Dimension here. And unfortunately, we can't beat the Deathlock in middle. Oh, that's unlucky. And we got a Cosmo. Okay, that's not too good. Yeah, even with a blue Marvel, we're still not winning. So we did manage to win this lane. We lost the Orca lane, unfortunately. But in most cases, 17 power on one lane or 16 without the blue Marvel buff. A lot of times that's enough to win a lane. And I just wanted to showcase one of these games where, you know, sometimes your strategy doesn't pan out. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. You can still play around it with some of the pieces we have in the deck. And, you know, worst case, you could always just retreat. Wow. So far, guys, we're off to a great start. We have an Onslaught. We saw an Olympia, which allows us to draw 2 cards, which means we're probably going to hit all of our combo pieces. We do have a Yellowjacket in case we draw an Adam Warlock. So I'm just going to pass my turn here and hope that the rest of the locations are favorable for us. This is going to turn into a new location on turn 4. Okay, so far that is not an indicator of whether it's good or bad. I will have to play a card here, though, just so I am able to draw a card for next turn. So I'm going to play Yellowjacket into... I don't know. I'll play it into this lane. It doesn't. I don't think it really matters which one I put into. I do want to keep Olympia open actually for my combo because I know that that lane is not a bad location, and we still haven't seen this one here. We each add a random card. Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and gonna Magik. I think. Wait, how many cards do we have? We have 5. We're gonna draw. 3 more cards, 4, 5, 6, which means we'll have 2 left in deck. So I'm gonna Magik. I want to make sure I hit combo this way. If we're left with only 1 card in our deck on turn 7, I'll be guaranteed to either have my full combo or at least an Iron Lad in my hand to then hit the combo. So I'm gonna go ahead and Magik actually on if I Magik here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 cards to play. Okay, I'm gonna Magik here. That way Westview is not gonna be a bad location. We don't want something to maybe discard a card from our hand or something like that. And as I say that, they play Moonlight and hit Electro. Okay, luckily they did not hit a combo piece that could have been quite bad for us. We're gonna play Omega Red into Olympia. You know what? The other thing is, in this game, we don't have Invisible Woman, so we're not going to be protected from an Enchantress. But I will say, if they have Enchantress, they have Enchantress. Sometimes it is what it is. Okay, so we're going to play Omega Red. That is great. That hits Black Cat, and lucky us, we just top-decked an Iron Man. I was going to say, actually, if we didn't hit Iron Man there, that would have been kind of bad for us. But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I'm going to go ahead, drop the Iron Man. This is going to be a pretty big lane now with 10. Bumping the allocations by 8. We have a Black Bolt, and Black Bolt hits the Echo. We're still safe. Actually, Black Bolt hits the lowest, right? Okay, we were going to be safe regardless. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop an Onslaught here. So at this point, our opponent could still be thinking that we're just on an Omega Red strategy, which is fine. They're going to play their Modok, discard their whole hand. So next turn, they're playing Apocalypse for 12. So actually, because we played Limbo, the good thing about these discard decks is they don't have their America Chavez play on turn 7, because especially if they're saving the Modok for 6, it's going to make their hand awkward. So right now, it looks like they're sitting on Apocalypse, 2 Swarms, and a Mystery card. I'm guessing it's another... Oh, well, they conceded. Okay. Well, we're going to win that game anyway. I wasn't too worried. No matter how he distributed the power amongst the lanes, we should have probably had enough here to probably put like 35 or so across all the lanes. Hate to see this location. However, we have a Magik, so I'm not that upset about it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my yellow... No, I'm going to not drop anything yet, actually. I'm just going to pass turn. Ooh, we don't actually have to make a play yet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Magik that location for sure. Okay, wow, that was terrible. Is it terrible, though? I mean, we just kind of lost an Orca, really. That's it. Living Tribunal used to be a 6-6, so this is pre-nerf Living Tribunal. It's still winning games before this. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and drop a Magik into that location there. That way we don't have to shuffle back our hand. I would like to keep Living Tribunal. It is a combo piece. I still have an Iron Lad too, which is great. So we're going to go ahead and just drop it there. After this, though, I think I'm going to try and shift to Stark Tower to maybe place some of my combo pieces. It would be great if I could maybe hit like an Iron Man or something. That'd be really cool. It'd be cool if my opponent just hit end turn. That'd be nice too. Wow, snap. They're very confident. Okay, well, that's fine. We're just going to stay in. I actually don't care if I lose cubes at all. No matter when I'm playing, whether I'm climbing. I mean, now we're in infinite, so it doesn't matter. But when I'm climbing, yeah, I'll stay in the games. I'm not, like, snapping doesn't bother me too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play... Actually, do I play an Iron Lad now? Maybe I don't. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a wave. Yeah, I'm going to play wave, because then I'll just drop Living Tribunal. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to wave. Sarah. Okay, well, we have Sarah, we have Zabu. I would be shocked if they did not have an Enchantress. So maybe I should have just dropped an Invisible Woman there. But that's fine. We'll play this out. I'm going to go ahead and drop a Living Tribunal. I'm pretty sure this was the absolute wrong play. I should have just played Invisible Woman. And, I mean, I saw a Zabu. I should have probably known they had Enchantress, but we'll see. I'm going to guess they have Enchantress, but they might not. You never know. Well, we comboed out. Wait, did we combo out? No, we're missing an Iron Man. So I'm going to go ahead and play Onslaught here. A Bast. Okay. Maybe they don't play Enchantress? We have 2 cards left in deck, so 50% chance to hit Iron Man. I like those odds. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So let's, I guess, get some power into this lane and hope for the best. If we hit an Iron Man, we do have a chance to win. But our opponent could still very well play an Enchantress. So there's that. I do think, though, that this is a... What? Wong? Okay. Oh, wow. This is going to be huge. As Hitmonkey. Okay. That is a huge Hitmonkey, actually. Holy crap. Oh, my God. 39 and an Ironheart. And a Silver Surfer. Okay, this looks like... might be a... Oh, we hit Iron Man. Is this enough to win? I don't think it is, actually. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. 37. This might be actually a negative deck. Yeah, this could be a negative deck, actually. I'm pretty sure this is a negative deck that we were just up against. But, hey, 37 across all lanes is good enough to beat a high roll. I mean, they didn't really high roll negative because they didn't play negative, but they still had a pretty solid finisher there. That Hitmonkey got quite large. However, not quite strong enough to handle 37 across all lanes. Anyway, guys, that was it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.